UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. This is the coming great deception. But when we go up, they come down. When we go up, they show up. I'm your intrepid host, Elliot Marzulli, coming to you from an undisclosed location, somewhere deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains. Stay tuned. This is another UFO update. I think you'll find it interesting. But first, a word from our trusted sponsors. How fast can stock market sentiment change? In an instant, folks. Just ask NVIDIA investors. Nearly $600 billion in market value wiped out overnight. No warning, no second chances. Noble Gold Investments is alerting all clients, diversify now. Market crashes don't wait. They strike fast, devastating the unprepared. But smart investors, they're already one step ahead, protected and prepared. For nearly a decade, my friends at Noble Gold Investments have helped thousands protect their wealth with gold IRAs and physical gold. With over $2 billion in precious metal sales, Noble Gold is a trusted choice for Americans serious about financial security. Gold, it's real, it's yours, it retains value. And now, when you open a qualified account, you'll receive 2 5-ounce Silver America the Beautiful coins free. Are you diversified? If not, when will you act? After your portfolio is down 10, 20, 30%? Or will you protect your portfolio now? The next market crash won't send a warning. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Don't just grow your wealth, guard it. Folks, we did. We invested several years ago, and I'm really glad we did. noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com. Remember, there's no guarantee here, and you look into this investment. Talk to your financial advisor before you make the investment, as there is no guarantee. But I got to tell you, personally, I'm glad we invested in noblegoldinvestments.com. So this is just an amazing little 2-3 minute clip. I think you'll find it interesting. I will be weighing in on it as we go along. Let's roll. Here we go.
The American people are ready to receive the truth.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species. We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists. UAPs are real. They're here, and they're not human. I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA. I worked on highly classified UAP program.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the 4th Director of National Intelligence,
Director of Aviation Security in the National Security Council. The 1-star admiral after 32 years of service.
See, well, that comes along with this. I feel like they're taking your life in LNAs. I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program that investigated unidentified aerial phenomena. For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic. We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans. I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings. The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of nomination?
This is similar to Manhattan Laser. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
This is so secret. Very, very few people in our entire government about access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis. But that begins to ramble out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful when a government does puts its view, because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history. You had information being blocked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
We should have disclosure today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
What else you want to know?
That is just an incredible documentary. Obviously, there's a lot of bucks behind it. Someone is Ping. I mean, I wish I had access to some of these people. Now, let me get into this because essentially there's only two paradigms here, that the phenomena that we're looking at are extraterrestrial or are they interdimensional. The phenomenon is real. There's no doubt about it. There's real craft. The craft, it's nuts and bolts. I know some Christian researchers out there poo-poo the idea of nuts and bolts craft, but that's why it led me to start working on the book Supernatural Technology Found in the Bible. I'll just give you one example. The flaming sword in the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve are expelled from the garden, the cherubim are placed on the east gate. And there's a flaming sword that goes in between them. What is that flaming sword? The cherubim are not wielding it. That is technology. Albeit it's technology that I have no idea how it works. Is it some sort of a cosmic lightsaber? Maybe. You tell me what it is. A flaming sword. What does that sound like to you? I looked up and saw a dull silver disc, the Fatima apparitions, right? Looked up and saw a dull silver disc. That's not Mary of the Bible. How many witnesses do we have to have from Fatima in 1917? I realize I'm hopping way back and not, but that's why they have two films on it, Harbingers of Deception, because that's what it was, in my opinion. It was not Mary of the Bible. The little 3-foot being said when asked by the children, Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta, I come from the sky. She didn't say heaven. I came from the sky. What was she? What was she? We have two films on the Fatima apparitions, Harbingers of Deception and Strange Phenomena. If this is Mary of the Bible, why are car windshields exploding? Why is it that gas tanks are just exploding? Why is it that people have radiation burns when the craft comes over them? I'll use a little prop here. The craft, we call it the flyby. The craft comes down like this and flies over the people's heads. Those in the path of that UFO have radiation burns. They lose their hair, their clothes are dry. What are we looking at here? What is the truth? Look, the guys who did this, there is a lot of money behind that film. I'm a filmmaker. Gil Zimmerman and I, my business partner, we did 10 films on the whole UFO phenomena from a biblical Christian perspective. I believe that what we're looking at are not extraterrestrials, but are in fact interdimensional entities. This is the coming great deception. There's no doubt about it. You go back to the Roswell years and everything is covered up. So we know that the phenomenon is real. No doubt about that. Way too many people have seen them, experienced them. That's why we have 10 films. We have all sorts of witnesses that come on the record in our films. In our films, talking about their encounter. Close Encounters of the First Kind, where the craft is about 150, 200 feet away. Close Encounters of the Second Kind, where the craft is very up close. Third Kind, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where we see the beings in the craft. Fourth kind, contact. Fifth kind, you're bringing them in. And that's what Dr. Stephen Greer believes in. That's what he engages at, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. Dr. Greer, you are welcome to come on our show anytime you want. I will clear the decks to make it happen. But we have a difference of opinion. And I respect his opinion, and I think he respects my opinion. We showed you that video from one of the museums, which was all AI, which was a life-size picture of Dr. Greer, and you press the button and ask the question, what do you think of L.A. Marzulli? And AI just went right out with that. So let me read this. UFO whistleblowers are set to expose an 80-year cover-up of the existence of non-human existence in an upcoming documentary. I agree, there's been a cover-up. But what are we looking at? Are these extraterrestrials, or are they interdimensional entities with a very nefarious agenda? I am reading a book. We're going to be carrying it in our store, I think. It's called The Collins Elite. It's by a person that we interviewed. He actually appears in number 10 of our film, What is the Truth? Nick Redford is the author, and he's a great writer. And Nick, if you're watching this, my hat is off to you, sir. But you're welcome to come on the show and talk about the book, The Collins Elite, and I'm trying to get him on the show, and we'll continue to press in on that. Hopefully he'll come on and we could discuss it. But look, this has been going on literally for decades, obviously an 80-year-old cover-up. Why is it happening now, and why are these entities so concerned with our nuclear capabilities? And that's in the book, Rungs of Disclosure. Let me just continue a little bit here. The Age of Disclosure by filmmaker Dan Farrar will premiere at the South by Southwest Film Festival in Austin, Texas this March. The film claims there has been an 80-year-old cover-up of the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence and a secret war among nations racing to reverse engineer UFO technology. Stop right there. When you read the book of Enoch, what happens? The fallen angels come down, and what takes place? There's a quid pro quo. The fallen angels give us technology, albeit it's primitive technology, weapon making. They actually show how to kill the fetus, kill the baby in the womb. That's your first abortion right there. I'm not making this up. Read it for yourself. It's in the book of Enoch. Hello. Any of you fact checkers out there, not making it up. How to kill the fetus in the womb. They say that. They show how to adorn with makeup and cosmetics for the women. They show the 18 and a half year lunar cycle, the course of the moon. For what? There's a quid pro quo. They give us primitive technology thousands of years ago for access to the women. What happened in the 1950s when Eisenhower was president and he goes missing for that 24-hour period of time? I believe there was a quid pro quo in modernity where we gave them access to the human population, they gave us the technology. Think of Bob Lazar, who states on the record that he worked at S4 trying to back engineer the propulsion system. He talks about a gravity wave. So as the craft is going like this, there's a gravity wave in front, which is pulling the craft. That's why there's no rotor wash. That's why there are no wings. They are bending space-time as we know it. I've talked about that numerous times here on the show. We've got whistleblowers. Now in Congress, the whistleblowers are coming out. Can disclosure be far off? I don't think it is, but let's continue. Newly confirmed Secretary of State Marco Rubio, former senior intelligence official Luis Elizondo, and former NASA administrator and member of the agency UAP, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Study Team, Mike Gohl, will give their testimonies. In the trailer released Wednesday, former staff director of the United States Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, Christopher Mellon, said, "This is the biggest discovery in human history." Yes, I agree, if you're on that side of the aisle. But if you're on my side of the aisle, this is the greatest deception in history of mankind, in my opinion. And I'm sticking with that. Jesus warns us, even the elect would be deceived if that were possible. He talks and states on the record that it'll be like the days of Noah. What differentiates the days of Noah? The presence of the B'nai Ha-Elohim. Fallen angels coming down and doing what? Having sex with the women and producing what? The Nephilim. What's going on today? Women are taken, they are abducted against their will, they carry a child for the first 3 months, and that baby is taken from the womb and put into an artificial womb. And that artificial womb is constructed using cow blood and the parts from cattle mutilations to create an artificial womb. That's conjecture on my part. But Karen Wilkinson, who was taken a very young child, basically confirmed that. And that's what we think is really going on. So there's something that's very dark, that's very nefarious. And here's the kicker. It backs it up in Daniel chapter 2, verse 43. Their seed will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not cleave to them. The word cleave, I got this from our friend Jim Williamson, is the same word that we get way back in Genesis for a marriage. There's no marriage. They just take what they want. They take sperm from the men. They take ovum from the women. They create this hybrid being known as the Nephilim. The Bible tells us exactly what's going to happen. It's written thousands of years ago, and yet it's completely applicable in modernity because that's exactly what we see. Their seed will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not cleave to them. What is the window of time where that happens? The angel tells Daniel, hey, Dan, men will run to and fro over the face of the earth, knowledge will increase. That hasn't happened till the modern era, basically a little over 100 years ago. And now men, women, as I'm speaking, run to and fro over the face of the earth. Knowledge increases exponentially every 6 months. I'm not making this stuff up. So, I will be watching that film when it comes out. And I just want to close by showing you a picture of Luis Elizondo, a whistleblower who has basically risked everything. A real stand-up guy, the best of the best. We're trying to get Lou on the show. Hopefully he will come on and talk about what's going on here. I just want to blow this up a little bit. This was one of that's Mr. Gallaudet. There's Lou in the middle right here. And these two other gentlemen, all in the halls of Congress. They are under oath. You can see their right hands raised. They are under oath. They're telling the truth as they know it. Let's continue. I'll go down here a little bit. This is called the gimbal, which has been around for quite some time. It's in the gun sights, and this thing is just going against the wind. Let's continue. That's Admiral Tim Gallaudet. His quote is, "Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe." And I agree. We're not. But fallen angels is that other intelligence. And when I say fallen angels, immediately people go, "Oh, LA, you're stuck in your Christian paradigm." You bet I'm stuck in my Christian paradigm all day long. Why? Because this book, the Biblical Prophetic Narrative, is the only book on the planet that calls out with great specificity future events, not some fuzzy quatrains, with all due respect to Nostradamus out there. When it tells us that I will bring back the people, this is Amos 9, 14 and 15. I will bring back the captives of my people Israel. Check, 1948. They will build the way cities and inhabit them. Check. They will plant vineyards and drink the wine from them. Check. They will also plant gardens and eat the fruit from them. Check. I will plant them in their land, and never again will they be plucked up out of the land I have given them, said the Lord your God. That's written thousands of years ago. 1948, that prophecy is fulfilled. I've been to Israel. All that criteria, check, right down the line. Waste cities, check. I've gathered my people, check. Vineyards, check. Gardens, check. Never again to be plucked up out of the land I had given them. They will look, Israel as a nation, will look on the one that they have pierced and mourn for him as an only son. That's future. That is yet. See what I mean? It's all right there in the Biblical Prophetic Narrative. They will look on him whom they have pierced and mourn for him as an only son. Who's that? Right here. With all due respect to my Jewish brethren, at some point in time, you will say, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." Because they will look on him whom they have pierced and mourn for him as an only son. That's written thousands of years ago. And who's the only one in history that was pierced? There he is, right there. There he is. So I think we're in a window of time which is absolutely unprecedented. I really do. By the way, if you've not read Luis Elizondo's book, let me just roll this real quick. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. If you've not read Luis Elizondo's book, Imminent, it's an incredible journey into what he's been through, and I would highly recommend it. Let's continue here. And we covered this again. This is Mr. Barber, and he had an encounter, and something has come into him that right now is very benevolent. How many times have I heard this in my decades of research? It will turn on him. Guaranteed, it will turn on him. Folks, I mean, I could go on here, but that's basically it for this UFO update. Please consider, thousands of you come here every day, please consider blessing us and blessing yourself and your friends. Runs of Disclosure, the 10-box DVD set by myself and my good friend and business partner, Gil Zimmerman. We are the only Christian ministry that have 10 DVDs, in-depth study on the UFO phenomena, all from a biblical perspective. LAMarzulli.com, runsofdisclosure.com, where it's an interactive website. When you go there, you can see all the footnotes that I did. You can also check up number 18 wrong, number 19 wrong. It's all there as I do these UFO updates. Thanks so much for watching, folks. Remember, UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away. This is the coming great deception. But when we go up, they come down. When we go up, they show up. Thanks for watching.